Hey everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. My name is Janet and I'm so happy that you are here. Y'all, that last video on the sausage balls, y'all just went crazy over that video. And we have so many new subscribers and I just want to say a great big huge thank you and welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here. I do a lot of canning, I do a lot of cooking, I do some gardening. I try anyway. And then I do special activities and money saving. So if you don't like what you see in this video, stick around. You might like the next one. But today, y'all, we're continuing our Christmas treats. We are going to do something my mother used to make every year for me at Christmas. I'm not going to cry in this video. We are going to make date balls. And actually, Mama called these date nut balls. That's just what she called them. So I've never made them before. We're going to do it. We're going to get this done. It can't be that hard, can it? Let's take a look at what we need. Okay, now this next part my mama always did by hand, bless her heart, even after she had a stroke. But I'm doing it with a food processor. And just a side note, I'm cutting this recipe in half. So I'm giving you the half recipe. We're going to do 1 cup of chopped pecans. That was a half a cup. A whole cup, and as you can see they're already chopped, but you do not want big pieces like this in your date balls because it makes them harder to roll and it doesn't feel great in your mouth. Alright, so now we will do just the 8 ounces of pitted dates. I'm using this brand. My sister, yes, I'm still having to call my sister, she said that Mama used the dates in a pink box. I could not find the dates in a pink box. But the most important thing is just don't get the dates. Oh gracious, they look like roaches when you look down in there. Don't get the dates that are already chopped and have that coating on them, because that coating is there to keep them from being sticky and sticking to each other, which is just the opposite of what you want for this recipe. Alright, so there's that, and we are going to add just about 1/4 of a cup of coconut because the full recipe calls for 1/2 cup, and again, this is optional. If you don't want it, it's perfectly fine, but I don't want big pieces of coconut, so I'm just going to grind that up with the rest of it, and voila. Okay, so let's just give these a good pulse and get them all nice and chopped up. Okay, there you go. You just want small pieces, and you don't want to do that while you're tipping it over. So we're just going to put this into a saucepan and add the other ingredients we need. These are going to make gorgeous date nut balls. Look how pretty it is, just like that. Okay, so much for admiring. Let's get these into the saucepan. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is mix the sugar. And this is the beauty of Mama's recipe. She used white sugar and brown sugar. Preferably, I would have liked the dark brown sugar because it gives the finished balls a prettier, deeper color, but I only had the light brown sugar, but it'll be okay. So 1/2 cup of each of those. And because we've cut it in half, we're going to use just 1 stick of the butter. Alright, and then we're going to put this on the stove and cook it on a medium-low for 6 minutes, or let it melt, and then cook it for 6 minutes. We're just going to give this a good stir, mix everything up, and while I'm doing this, Alyssa is going to get the Rice Krispies ready. We're going to use 2 cups of the Rice Krispies. And as soon as this is melted and is cooked, we're going to let it cool for just a minute. And then we'll pour in the vanilla and the Rice Krispies. And then we'll be ready to roll. This recipe is really quick and easy. But it's so beautiful in the end. When I was getting ready to make these, or when I knew I wanted to, I had to go find the recipe. And I got so tickled. I had asked my mama for this recipe so many times. I know I've got more, but I found 3 copies of it. One I wrote, one she wrote before she had the stroke, and one she wrote after she had the stroke. And they were all the same, except for one of them, one of the oldest ones, it called for a small can of coconut. I'm not quite sure what that is, but evidently it used to be a thing. And I just got tickled. I could just see Mama shaking her head, saying, "Child, how many times have I got to give you this recipe?" But if she could see me now, I know she would get tickled if she could see all those recipes. So this is starting to get melty. We're just going to let it keep going until it does its thing. Bump that heat up closer to a medium and just keep stirring, because you want to cook the graininess out of the sugar. You want the sugar to melt, and you can see it changes so far. Mine has changed to look like taffy. So I know that's a good thing, because when I broke a piece off and tasted it before, it still was grainy like sugar. But now it is not, and I think that's what you're going for. I should have really stayed by my mama's side and learned how to make these. Or at least watched a YouTube video. Surely there's one out there. You see the difference in the texture, how it doesn't break apart. It's more like a frosting almost. And that's what you want. You want it melted. Just so you don't, those sugars come together and you don't have that graininess. Okay, let's move it over to the other counter. You know, worst comes to worst, I'll just have to redo the video because this isn't right. Look at that little trivet. Isn't that cute? Merry are the moments that make the holidays bright. Let's cool just a minute, and we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Now I make my homemade vanilla. It's Tahitian vanilla, but you don't have to. Just whatever you've got. Mama sure didn't use fancy vanillas. We didn't have the money for fancy vanillas. She just used what she had. And we have our 2 cups of Rice Krispies. So we just need to get those in. And I'm not going to measure the vanilla. That looks good to me. Probably way more than a teaspoon. That's all right. And just work these in like you would Rice Krispie treats. And then when it's cool enough to touch, we'll come back and roll up the balls. Okay, let's see what happens when we roll it into a ball. They're still a little warm, but I don't have patience. I just want to see it. Now I'm making these smaller than my mama did. Yeah, perfect. Oh, look. Now we'll leave them just like this on this parchment paper. Put it where y'all can see it. And then we'll come back after they've cooled a little bit more, and we will roll them in powdered sugar. You can make them bigger. Mama made them much bigger. They were probably at least twice this size. But if they want to stick to your hands, they shouldn't, but if they want to stick to your hands, just put some butter on your hands. It'll be just fine. And Alyssa wants to help me. So I'm just going to scoop some out and let her roll. And then I'll come back and help her. Okay, y'all. So y'all want to try them? I've got Alyssa here with me. Well, I'm nervous. What if they don't turn out like Mama's? Go ahead. Oh my! That's why you make them small. It's like putting it in my mouth all at once. Thank you, Mama. Thank you all thank you all so much for joining me. You know I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. I hope you enjoyed your time here. So until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys.